Hello from Brussels. The question of Frans Timmermans' succession has been making headway. Both nominees, Wopke Hoekstra and Maros Sefcovic, will be interviewed by the ENVI committee soon. The same committee also adopted their position on the Urban Wastewater Treatment Directive. While multiple files are still being discussed under pressure to finalize interinstitutional negotiations in time before the European elections, a deadline for February 2024 has been set. Find out more now. FEAD is organizing a conference on PFAS in the waste sector at Ecomondo on the 8th of November. Find the information in our description box and join us for this exciting event. Now on to the briefings. Critical Raw Material, CRM. On the 14th of September, a large majority of the European Parliament plenum, 515, voted their position on the Commission's proposed framework for ensuring a secure and sustainable supply of critical raw materials in the EU. Packaging and Packaging Waste Regulation, PPWR, Context has published compromise agreements that Frédéric Ries, Renew, Belgium, presented on the 14th of September. The ENVI committee vote is scheduled for the 23rd of October. Urban Wastewater Treatment Directive. On Wednesday the 20th of September, the ENVI committee MEPs adopted their position on new rules for the collection, treatment and discharge of urban wastewater. The report was adopted with 60 votes in favor. The Energy Efficiency Directive. On the 20th of September, the Energy Efficiency Directive was published in the EU official journal and will enter into force in 20 days. Member states have 2 years to transpose it into national law. Net Zero Industry Act, NZIA. On the 20th of September, MEPs from the ENVI committee adopted the opinion of Reporter Timo Wolken, S&D, Germany. Soil Monitoring Directive. Reporter Martin Hodzik, Renew, Slovakia, has expressed to Context that he hopes that Parliament will adopt a position on soil monitoring during the 2024 March plenary session. Green Deal. Context reports that Frans Timmermans' successors will be auditioned by the ENVI committee at the start of October. REACH Regulation. In a letter addressed to Ursula von der Leyen, on the 18th of September, the European Environmental Bureau has begged for action on the REACH revision. Biomethane. Context has obtained documents that the Spanish presidency has submitted to COREPER for their meeting on the 22nd of September to discuss about the regulation on the internal markets for renewable and natural gases. Creosote-treated wood. On the 20th of September, the Committee for Risk Assessment from ECHA published support to France's proposal to restrict the placing on the market, reuse and banning of the secondary use of wood treated with creosote and related substances. Unfair Commercial Practices Directive, UCPD, and Consumer Rights Directive, CRD, an agreement between the Council and Parliament has been reached. Green Claims Directive. The deadline for amendments has been set for the 9th of November with the vote in committee scheduled for mid-February 2024 and the plenary for March of the same year. European Parliament. The European Parliament wants to complete all the trilogues by February 2024, reports Context. European Commission. The Ombudsman who reviewed the complaint of a journalist who was refused access to emails related to EU environmental strategy and legislation by the European Commission assessed, in favor of the journalist, that the Commission should have given the person access to the information. This was episode 3 of FEAD's audio newsletter. Thank you for joining us and see you next Monday for another episode of FEAD's newsletter.